out real quick before we get anybody in here. It don't look too bad right now. Let's see. Let's put this one in there. All right, we got somebody here. Cool deal. I'm just getting set up real quick. Get my phones and everything out so I can see chat. Excuse me. All right. Oh, we had somebody here. Oh, they said no, gotta go. Switch count. Boom. Don't want that. Turn it down. Double tap the screen. Alright, get my dust mask knocked off here real quick. Kind of hang out just a second, see if we got anybody showing. Ooh, that's what I forgot to do. Let's see here. Alright, don't get seasick, y'all. I gotta do something right quick. Subscribers. Alright. Alright. Let's jump back up in the mountain. Let's see. Boom. Don't get seasick, y'all. I'm about done. Alright, that's not bad. We're going to leave it alone right there. Oh, gotta get the old dust collector hose hooked up here. I had it hooked to my downdraft table. And what else was I fixing to grab? Phone, charger. Alright, anybody out there watching, thank you for tuning in. I'm fixing to turn this piece of cedar, knock it down into one of my roach clips that I do. Here's one that I did yesterday. But yep, that's what I do. So I'm going to throw my dust mask on and get with it. I hope everybody's had an awesome day. Mine's been a little on the crazy side, but shoot, it seems like it's almost always on the crazy side anymore. Hey there, something. I'm not getting used to them yet. I'm getting a little more comfortable with it for sure. I'll admit that, but I still want to get my setup done a little different. I'm looking at that OBS to where I can run my music and stuff in the background while I got my cameras on and switch scenes and stuff. I've gotten the camera and the microphone between cameras. I've gotten that situated now. I did that test run the other night where I was switching cameras back and forth, but it was only working with one mic. But now I've got them independently working. I got to go through and set up a playlist for my music and set up a source and all that, and then that way it'll be playing on my desktop in the background, and I'll be able to adjust the music or the volume slider for it to, to where it's at a certain level, to where when I talk, it won't be louder than me, but whenever I have that noise cancellation going, you won't hear the tool, you'll hear the music. That's what I want to do. A live a day keeps the nerves away. Right now it's trying to keep me sane. I think we might have got us another daggum lemon, dude. Oh my gosh, we got a we got her we got another truck the other day, and way less miles. It's even running. Ooh man, no oil leaks nowhere. Oil was clean. Truck ran nice, sounded nice, suspension nice and tight. Everything was jamming. Drove it from Cantonment to the house, no problems. Uh, we went to get it legal this morning at the tag office, drove it up to the tag office, it run no problems, took James to school and all, and when we got to the tag office, registered it and everything, we come back out to leave, went to crank it, it didn't want to crank right up, and I was like, move, let me drive, and I had to like kind of assist it like it was an old carburetor to crank it. I had to give it a little bit of gas as it was turning over and it fired up, and I said, man, that ain't right. And we got it home, and then I went to pick James up from class, and it lost power on me 3 times going up Glover. Uh, and I don't know. We got a Dakota scanned it at his shop, and it's not giving any codes or anything, so I got to take it to a mechanic shop and drop it off up in there and let them try to figure out what's wrong with it. But I don't know. I have no clue what it is, and it's just I don't know. I'm at my wits end. That's another 5 grand. That's 15 so far on vehicles, and every daggone one of them, man. So yep, I got to get in my lathe. I got to get to spinning so I can get out my head. Yeah, Grumpy's had today. But thank you for the support, everybody. And thank you so much for this cedar, my man, because I still have a bunch of it to go through. It is awesome. I'm going to do this piece right here next. I hope I can keep that in there, but it don't look like that's going to stay in there, but that's a good piece to go with. So that'll be number 2. All right, y'all. I babbled. Here we go. Daggone bucket in my way. There we go. Hey Suzanne, thank you for coming by. Yes, please, y'all hit that like button. Oh no. Hey Miss Daisy, thank you for coming by. I hope you've had a good day. I'll probably be lurking in one of your lives tonight for sure. I'm not gonna do as much today as I've been. I need to slow down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, okay, almost. these off for a minute. Oh, take this mask off for a second. All right. Oh, Cedar's everywhere in here. All right. Oh. Hey, Alan. Hey, Miss June. Oh, so gotta sit down for a second. Hey, EW. How you doing? Rolling back through chat a little bit. See what I missed. All right. I hope everybody's had a good day. Oh goodness, I'm sore. I'm trying to disappear into my work for a little bit. Anybody got an idea what's going on right there? The day I've had, I probably shouldn't try it, but I'm damn sure gonna be stupid, or I'm sorry, not stupid. I'm just gonna be hard-headed and try it. I know I can do it. I've just had one of them days, so we'll just have to see if if I can escape that day. I'm gonna try to work these two here into some free rings, but this stuff's real dry and it's real chippy, and my neck's real boogery today, so I don't know if I want to be able to get it to separate. When I go this direction, I have no problems. When I come back this way and I start digging in, when I get so far up this way trying to dig through, I always catch right there. And that's the catch that normally breaks the rings. And with these being so small, this one I left a little bit thicker, but I didn't think about it in time on this one. So I'm gonna probably, yeah, we'll see. But I've left them thick enough that if they don't work, then I can still recover from it as long as it doesn't break down here. I'll do some stuff at the end of it and then slick it all off. And it's got enough color in there, though, it'll look good when I polish it up. Hey, old path. I hope y'all had a great day. I'm trying to get there. Let's see. Oh, where is my... Alright. Well, I'm trying to find my water bottle. Get me a swallow of water real quick. Oh. Goodness. Alright, I'm gonna put dust mask back on and get with it. Old Path, am I stepping on anybody's lives right now? I looked earlier before I went and I didn't see anybody on, but I don't remember if anybody had anything scheduled for this afternoon. Uh-oh. There we go. Let's see. Not let you know. Okay. I didn't think there was. I'm not sure. I didn't see nobody, and I don't remember any posts. But I'm going to figure out a routine and a schedule, though, so I can get set up on. I think I want to go early morning for sure, like I did the other day. But this is one of the other ones I did. If anybody's out there watching, wondering what I'm doing, I'm turning some cedar and going to make some roach clips out of it. But here's another one there. But no, I like that early morning because I just, like I said the other day, I function better earlier in the day. I'm not as sore, and my aches and pains don't start really kicking in until later in the day. So the early morning lives, I'm not as heavy-handed as it seems. But like I said, I don't know. I got to figure it out though. But I got to be careful on this one. That's going to dang sure knock my knuckle if I get down there. Alright, I've babbled. I'm going to turn this on and get back at it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please hit that like, subscribe if you haven't. I drop a video every week, and that's another thing. I got to go edit Wednesday's video. I haven't edited it yet. Oh. Alright, here we go. Uh-oh, wrong button. Oh, here we go. Don't judge me. I do. Oh goodness, I got some dust in my wearing daggum dust, or wearing glasses and still got dust in my eye. I do want to stop real quick before I get back at it. Anybody that's watching, when y'all see me use this is not a lathe tool. This is not supposed to be used on lathes. It will get you. But this is what I started using. Let me show this. I brought this up the other day. Soldier was asking about he said he has a small lathe. Well, looky here, this is a small. I started with this little bitty thing. I bought this, and it's to make beads and stuff like that. I think that's what Soldier said he was doing with his, but I've actually spun some roach clips off of this thing before, but it's just tiny, and I use this as my skew back and forth on here. So this tool on this little machine wasn't bad, but on the bigger machine, it's dangerous. So don't do as my goofy butt does. That's y'all's warning. So, but yeah, I'm just comfortable using this, and I have to get some different tools. I actually want to try to make my own tool to do my rings. I got that in my brain, but I got to, yeah, that's a future rabbit hole. I need to break out a little forge and some anvils and get medieval with it, as I would say. But yes, I definitely want to bang me out a little tool, because I think something about this width with a sharper cut right there. I don't want to regrind this and mess this grind up, but a sharper angle right there, and then a little, yeah. I got some ideas. I'm gonna try it one of these days. All right, enough babble. I'm getting back at it. Y'all be safe. Don't do what I do. Now I got to get some shape to it and kind of sand it down before I try to part it off, or I won't be able to do nothing with it. I gotta make tools out of the way over here. I ain't got room. Okay, LaidBak. Come on now. Alright, where the, okay.
I gotta get at the side and come in here at an angle, and my tools is in the way over here. Caught right there. I got that too far up and it dug in. Alright, well, we ain't done. We are not done. Yeah. Still doing 150.
Hey, Mr. Johnny, thank you for coming by. Hey, my dog, welcome in. This is the side that always gets me.
Ooh, see right there, that would have been disaster. Ooh, there we go. Yes, sir. Stay together too, hot dog. Alright, now. Move that back over here out the way. Hold on.
Yes, forgive me all the little things. I get excited. That should have broke. It stayed together. Alright, little trick now fixing to do. I don't know where my tape go. You know, it don't do no good to look around for something when you're wearing your reading glasses, because every daggum thing you're looking at's all fuzzy as all get out, so you can't find nothing that way. All right, I'm gonna take a piece of tape and I'm gonna hold this down with a piece of tape. Then I'm gonna work on trying to get this one, and I should have a little more room to get in here, so hopefully I'll be able to separate this one. And then once I get this one separated, I'll move it over here, tape it out of the way, and then I'll work my center down and smooth, get this out of here and get that smooth, and then try to get all this symmetrical, and then do what I need to do down here. But that's awesome. I just knew it was going to break. Now look, if I would have been holding that with my chuck like I was doing the other night with the epoxy, when I had that catch right there and it stopped spinning, oh, that would have been it. It would have broke right there and probably down there. But yeah, smooth operator. Ain't none of that, just wishful thinking. I got lucky. I'm getting better at it though. Like I said, the tool that I use to even do that, it's not really a lathe tool, but it's what I'm comfortable. Ooh, feels like it might have a split in there. No, I better leave it alone or I'm gonna split it. But that tool I use, like I said, that's not for a lathe. You know, I'm not supposed to be doing that. But It's what I got, and it's what I can make work. So to each their own, I guess. Just be careful. Don't do what I do. That's all I can say. All right, like that. That ring ain't gonna come down here and get in the way and give me a little bit of room to work this one down. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, let me sit down and look at chat for a second. Knuckles, hey, I got into the tail end of your live this afternoon and was lurking, but I didn't chat or nothing. I've had a heck of a day. I went car shopping for the wife, and the one we just got her is giving us issues already. So I've been running the roads. We went to get that one legal, then I had to take the old one and get the old one legal, and yeah, I've been back and forth. Rules are flexible if you know how to bend them. Well, I look at it this. I call it art, right? And there ain't no right or wrong way in my brain. If what you're doing gets what you want done and you didn't hurt yourself, it works. You just do as you do. You got to be safe. Don't do what I do. Just do what you can do. Yeah, we got to take that newer car, excuse me, to the shop so we can get it assessed and see, and I'm hoping it's just something minor. Oh goodness, I had to wet my whistle as I say. All right, y'all, let's put dust mask back on and try to get this one separated so I can get this polished up. It's gonna look good. All right, and I'm growing my beard back out, right? Little goatee, a dust mask ain't that bad. You got this wannabe Santa Claus stuff going on. Hey, I got to get it all wrapped up and tucked in there just right. Oh. All right, here we go. I got the dust mask going. Got the back end going. Oh, and the knuckle buster is going. I gotta sharpen this thing tonight. It's getting dull. I pushed buttons and didn't lose y'all. I'm getting better. Hey, Rubberneck, thank you for stopping by. Knuckle. Got too much polish. Can't waste this stuff. That's good.
There we go. There we go. Get that out of the way a little bit. Hold on. I'm gonna end up breaking it if I don't stop. It'll farting around. I need to see where the merkin went down here. Oh, come on now. Go on. You have it on his face. Let me do one side at a time. I'm trying to squirrel and to work on both sides and I'm gonna mess something up. It's got a bunch of oil on that tape that don't want to stick anymore. It does have a split in it. And well, that's not good. You don't want it to stick and it's gonna stick. I don't need that anyway. I'm gonna sand it some more.
I'm gonna use the sandpaper to bring it on down to the size I need down here so I don't split it. This ring down here is broke. I think that one's gonna be salvageable. This one's split, so it's not gonna stay.
Woo! Man, I hit my finger again. Another paper. Oh, let it throw it down. Throw it down someday. Oh. Hey, you got down front of them. That's better.
All right. Well, that went better than I thought. Get a little bit of polish here. I'm using that Yorkshire polish. I said this ring right here, that one's got a split in there, so I'm not gonna leave it on there. There it is, right there. But the thicker one should be all right. All right, everybody that's still hanging out, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Hadn't been doing a whole lot of talking or nothing in this one. Just trying to get into my work a little bit. Ooh, gonna sling off. I can get that back out of there. That's why you gotta sand and polish them little guys first, or it's hard to deal with them at the end. You can push them to the side and kind of wedge them up and friction wedge them in there and polish them, but with that cedar being so dry, I think that's why that little one split. I think when I pushed it back this way, how it kind of swelled up a little bit, I think I pushed it too hard and split it. It's gonna look good though once it's done. Alright, let me get some of this out of here. Yeah, I keep hitting that edge with my finger. Alright, clean cloth here. Get the excess off and then we'll see what she looks like. I said I wish that one ring didn't split, but it is what it is. Hey Matthew. Thank you for coming by. Alright, here we go. Still have a handful that I have to polish up the bottoms. I haven't slowed down to do those yet. And I got to make the molds. I never got my pipe cut yesterday, so that's just slowed me down. Too much going on at one time. I'll be getting overwhelmed almost. Alright. Boom, I know y'all are waiting to see this, and I just keep spinning and spinning over here. Alright, yeah, we got some tear out and stuff going on. But all in all, for my day and the mood I was in when I started turning this one, I don't think it went too bad. I was being real aggressive trying to knock it on down. Just didn't have the patience to go at it slow. And wood turning is something that you really need to have patience for. Take little bites and you're less likely to have accidents and whatnot. But all in all, not bad. Come off of there. There we go. Let's see. That ring right there is split right there at that color. I'll take that and snap that on off. If I had the right glue and because I have to spread it apart to get the glue down in there good. But I really don't want you to see a glue mark. And the second I drop a piece of glue, a dot of glue right there, it's gonna get super dark on that glue spot. But that one held together. It's not bad for the cedar though, and it being a little ring like that, and doing it on live. Yeah, buddy. I was nervous. Thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna lop it off there, lop it off there. A little tear out right there, a little bit right there. You can see quite a bit of it right here though. But still, it's awesome colors. I like the way that color stayed with it. Is that one split? No. That dark line, that green spot hopping right through there, I thought that one was split too. I said, no. Alright. Yeah, it's an awesome color. I love cedar. Well, we've been bouncing an hour and a half almost. Yeah. Let me lob that off. I'm going to keep it going and finish this one out. I'm going to cut it and tie it real quick. Y'all hang on a minute. Going to get a little turbulence. Look y'all up over here in the box. Move my stuff up out the way. Oh goodness, sorry about that. Slam the lid shut. Oh, hang on, y'all. There we go. Shrink that back. All right, I got us in there. Let's see. Not too bad. Where are we at? I got to move the camera just a little bit, y'all. There we go. All right, let me buzz this off real quick. Stuff everywhere. I got that saw halfway drug out to do those blanks with it a little bit. Get stuff back out of the way. Alright, I'm back at it, y'all. Move this up in here out of the way. Alright, I hope we still got some people interested in watching. Looks like we got a few people here. If y'all hung out, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate the support. Let's see, getting my little pigtail puller out and ready. This is going to be the only one I tie, y'all. I'm going to get this one tied up, and then probably I'll babble for a few minutes and shut it down. Oh. All right, get my thread going here. Oh, wait. Okay, this clip's already stretched out from the other day. Let's see. Put this in here. I do my little clips and put it on there. I'll take my tool, waller it out right there in the end, kind of stretch it out some. And I take the clip, line her up, crimp her on there. Gotta be careful crimping it. I sound like a broke record, but you put too much pressure on the end and your clip will definitely break. this cedar. I don't want it to break. I don't want any splinters on there because I don't want it to break on nobody. Because if it breaks on somebody, I will fix it, replace it, make them a new one. I don't want shoddy work out there, so if I make something and it is a maker error, no big deal. You sit on a daggum thing and break it in half, that's all you. No, I haven't had any issues with these. I've had, didn't get it crimped good. I had one that was a little boo-boo and broke, but now that one was a combination, I think, of both. I think user error and I spun it a little thin at the top. But I did good by that one too. Alright, now we'll pull our string out. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I might jump on here early in the morning. No, wait. Wednesday morning, I'm going to try to jump in here early. I might even try to get in here early tomorrow morning. Depends on how everything's going. I have to take and get that truck up to the shop and get back home, so I might not be able to do it tomorrow. But if there's an opening, I'll probably jump on sometime tomorrow during the day and do a live. I got a handful of epoxy blanks to turn. Most of the ones that I have are the ones that they're a little soft. They're good and sturdy like blanks, but they have just a little flex, so I have to turn them with the jaw chuck, and I have a few of those ready. Then I have 2 other decent ones ready, but I got to get some editing done tonight. I got to get Wednesday's video ready. Got it all in there in the editor. I'm probably about 40% through it. I got to finish adding some of my transitions and do the music for it. Alright, on my neck. Make sure you don't tangle up your line behind you as you twist. Like I said, that stuff likes to wrap up. Alright, I try to center up that string there and wrap down. Oh, hands. And we just get with it. We're going to cover back up to the top, cover up that puller, and then pull her through. Gonna get a little noisy. We gotta wash some clothes, but won't be too bad. Alright, got back to the top. I'm gonna put my string through there, pull it back out. Alright, stay. Alright, we are through the. Alright, wrap up on that. Oh, come on. Come on now. Alright. Come on, fingers. My fingers ain't working with me. Here we go. It's a big old loopy mess because it was trying to come undone as I was trying to pull it through too. Oh, chopping block. My phone's leaning against the chopping block. No chopping block tonight. Don't cut that longer than your wrap. I need to get it up in there quick. Alright, pull through. Nice. Got that one done fairly good. Alright. Oh, there's two. And paper towel so we don't get glue everywhere. Alright. Now I'm going to glue up the threads on here. That way it's good and secure. I'll let that super glue soak into it real good. Use my toothpick to walk it around, make sure I got all that thread. Alright, need a little more glue on there. Hey Share Bear, thank you for stopping by. Woo! Daggone. I'll fix that. I can't do any changes to the moderation stuff right now the way my phone's put up in there. But I'll go back when I rewatch my live. I'll get you blue. On the lathe, the mount on the lathe, I can get it to screen better there. When I take this one down, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that before I disconnect the live. Yeah, I just got to get the glue on here first, y'all. Because, yeah, I'm just going to glue this one up, and then that's going to be it for me for tonight. I got to get me some stuff set up and get me some blanks poured. I don't have enough time, I don't think, to get them done before the 13th, but I dang sure have enough time to get them done before the grand opening that they're going to do. So I'm going to try to do both events, so I need to make sure I have plenty made. Alright. Cap back on that. This one is glued. Give me just a second, Share Bear, and I will let you see the whole stick, the whole clip. I did another piece of cedar, and I put some captive rings on there, but one of them split, so I'm going to end up breaking it the rest of the way and taking it off. But one managed to come out pretty good. All I'm doing right here is taking some of the excess off. Put a little too much on there, it's not soaking in as good. Alright. Let me get this out of the way. Alright, let me see. Okay, I've got to remember vertical, so I got to flip it where we can see what's going on. Wait, wrong way. That way. There we go. Piece of cedar. Here's the captive rings on there. This one is the one that split. Make sure I don't have no glue on my fingers. This one right here, it split right in that light green. So I'm going to end up breaking it, I think. I'm debating. I'll try to glue it off camera, but if it leaves a bunch of glue marks all over it where you can really tell it's been glued, then yeah, I'll break it on off. I don't want it looking like it's glued back. But this little one here in the top, that one held up. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I love the color in that. It come out nice. And then again, I got to go back off camera and sand that little nub down right there, and I'll polish it down flush. I'll go through the grains, or go through the grit on the sandpaper, and then I'll put a little bit of that Yorkshire on there. But I'll probably do some of those later tonight. Set that right there. Oh, y'all bring it CC. All right. Right here. Right there. All right, there we go. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I'm gonna jump back. Here's my pile of stuff that I got ready to play with. The smaller stuff. Let's see. These two, I'm hoping are good and ready. I don't think they're gonna bend. And then these here are ones that I've started, and they tried to bend on me under pressure. So I went back and trued it up a little bit right there to where I could grab it with the chuck and with my jaw chuck. And then so I got those two to try to do. Get y'all back like that. I got those two to try to do, and then this one here. This one I had spun it down pretty good before it tried to get crazy, but so I don't know if I'll be able to get it on the jaw chuck centered or not. But I got those three to try to go through, and then the other two, and then I'm out of epoxy blanks. So I have to make some more. But all right, back up the top. Y'all have an awesome night. Thank you for tuning in and watching my babble, and I greatly appreciate all the support. And everybody have a laid back night and be awesome. And yeah, God bless everybody. Thank you.